Aggressive action TV show. Not starting off the beginning of the show with music. We're going to be straight business today. Straight business. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that's bothering me about some situations that's happening with us MTA workers. And I'm going to remind y'all, see what this say, right? Sold, not for sale. So we're going to get to it. Before I start, I'm the host of Progressive Action, Tremel Thompson, in case this is the first time you hear. I am also the founder of Progressive Action. I would like for you guys to take this time out to share out the video. I'm going to discuss something very important regarding us transit workers, the mentality that we have here, and how it's affecting us as a whole. And I don't understand how some of us just don't see it. Some of us don't see the constant damage that we do with each other. We just don't see the damage that we do with each other. Like I said, I need you guys to please share out this video. And I'm gonna get into my stance on this whole entire train operator situation and where I stand on that. And basically how I feel, So as we all know, a train operator made a horrible mistake. Horrible mistake. There's no other way to put it, right? He allowed a civilian to operate the train. Very, very illogical. Some people say dumb, some people say stupid, whatever. Huge mistake. Lapse of judgment. Something serious could have happened. People could have got seriously hurt. Track workers could have been on the roadbed. You're not surviving the train if you come in contact with a track worker. The good thing is this, right? There was a lot of dangers involved. I'm not trying to take any of that away. But the good thing is that nothing happened. Thank goodness. Nothing happened. Some could have happened, but the reality, let's deal with the facts and the reality, is that nothing happened. Right? It was a stupid decision. We could talk about what if, all we want. The fact of the matter is that everybody on the train was safe. The workers that potentially could have been on the roadbed was safe, and all of that. Now, as I mentioned, I spoke to the train operator. I'm not going to get into the details of what we spoke about, but he's holding himself accountable. He's being 100% accountable for his actions. And that's where it starts with me. There'd be so many transit workers where they get into situations and they don't want to take accountability. And for me, accountability is number one. Realizing the mistake that you made and moving on from there. The reality of it is that not only RTO is going to pay for it, every operational title is going to pay for this lapse of judgment. So I understand why we will be upset. I understand all of that. Now, for those who just tuning in, I'm going to get into some real stuff in this show. Some real stuff. So I need you guys to share it out. Buckle up because it's going to get real. But like I said, we are going to pay for this, right? Now, my stance on this is that, do I believe he should remain in RTO? Absolutely not. Do I believe that he should have a safety-sensitive job? Absolutely not. Do I think that he should get fired? Absolutely not. So I don't believe that he should operate a train again, be a conductor, tower operator, but I do believe that he should have a job. Who are we to say that this man should not be able to make an honest living after making a mistake? Who are you to say that? Why, since when we have become so judgmental of people who make mistakes? Nothing, listen, we could talk the what ifs all we want, right? Nothing happened. In fact, I guarantee you there's going to be another incident where a transit worker go do something crazy, and we're going to talk about that too. But under no circumstance should we be saying that this young man, he's 32 years old, he came onto the job 20-something years old, should not deserve a second chance, not in the RTO title, but just having a job within the MTA. Now, there's a lot of people out there sharing the video. And I'm going to speak directly to you guys. A lot of people out there sharing the video, coworkers sharing the video, saying, you know, sharing his picture, sharing the news article, and saying how dumb he is, and the girl, she looks like this, and all this stuff that don't mean anything. I want you guys to think about this for a second. Think about this seriously. If someone in your home was to have a lapse of judgment, and their lapse of judgment makes the newspaper, are you going to have that same energy sharing out that news article, calling your family member names to your friends and family, or whoever will listen on your social media? You want to know why you wouldn't? Because it will bring unnecessary attention to your home. That is essentially what you're doing in this situation. New York City Transit is our second home. For a lot of us, it's our first home. We spend more time at work than we do at home with families. So when you share out this video and you put it out to the public and you call people all types of demeaning names, the people they don't separate. They not go say that's that train operator that did that BS. They go say it's those MTA workers. So you are essentially burning down your own home at the same time destroying your coworker. I don't think that you guys recognize what you're doing. When you look at the article in the New York Post, they said the girl was conducting the train. They don't even know our titles. How many negative articles the New York Post did on transit workers? They still cannot get our titles right. So what does that mean? If they can't get our titles right, the public can't get our titles right. So when you share out those videos and add fuel to the fire thinking that you're going to be separate from this whole situation, because we're all going to pay for it. We're all going to pay for this. You think that you're going to be separate from this situation? You have another thing coming. You just added the fuel to the fire, because I'm going to tell you this. I seen this story shared more amongst MTA workers than I did the ride in public. And I'm on social media all the time. In fact, nobody from a civilian, a passenger, or someone who don't work for the MTA sent me that video. And if they did send me the video, they wasn't adding extra commentary to it. They was just sharing it to see that I see it. The MTA workers was the one sharing it with the extra commentary towards it. How is that right? And what's crazy is that these past 24 hours, I've been getting calls from supervisors asking how can they help him. Supervisors who actually supervise this man are asking how can they help. And I have MTA workers making comments saying nobody should help him. What kind of sense does that make? And this lead me to go into the coward culture of MTA workers. This is going to hurt some of you guys. And you want to know what? I don't care. I don't care, because this coward culture has to stop amongst us transit workers. This is the reason why we get treated the way that we do, because of the coward culture here. Now, this is the problem. MTA workers like to pick on people who they feel like they can't hurt them. They like to pick on people who they feel have a lower title than them. So you will have train operators, conductors, ATDs, dispatchers, superintendents looking down on the stations department, looking down on station agents, looking down on cleaners. You'll have station agents and cleaners looking down on traffic checkers. It's a hamster wheel of disgust of how we demean each other based on our title, based on if a person didn't make a decision that you would make, right? This coward culture, specifically speaking, when a superintendent get in trouble, I don't see this same energy going on. Why? Because this is what the cowards do. The cowards are afraid of the residual effects if they talk about a superintendent, if they talk about a supervisor, because they're afraid of getting hurt. That's the coward culture that I'm talking about. Plenty of times, I have went on social media and exposed a supervisor, exposed the superintendent, got at the New York City transit president, got at the CEO of transit, had recordings, and you cowards said nothing. Why? Because you guys are afraid of the repercussions of what happened. But let it be a cleaner. Let it be a fellow coworker who can't write you up, who can't give you a Dan, who can't critique you. You're all on board. You're all on board. Now, I just want to know, why don't you guys have that same energy when management screw up? Let's talk about this situation. Put a video on the screen. I'm going to let this loop. In that video, right? Let me cut it off because I don't want that noise in the background. Let me explain. Matter of fact, let me see something. Let me explain to you guys what happened in that video. A TSS, because everybody think they know something. People don't know anything. Everybody assuming and all this other stuff. People don't know nothing, right? Everything here with transit is gossip. Gossip. And I get it. It's entertaining sometimes. But at least if you're going to gossip, have your facts right, okay? So this TSS allowed for another superintendent from another department to operate a train. What happened? The TSS, somebody snitched the TSS out. Did the TSS get in trouble for letting a non-RTO train operator operate the train? 100%. The same dangers apply. If track workers was on the roadbed, that person wasn't, he's not trained to see that. Now, granted, the TSS was looking. The train operator was looking in that incident too. Right? He was paying attention. He ain't walk out the cab. He know what time it is. But I don't want to focus too much on that. What I want to say is that this TSS was protected. They gave him an untimely Dan, and I posted this on a show before, on at least 2-3 shows before. The MTA gave him an untimely Dan in order to protect him from his discipline because he's a part of the old boys club. Right? So you trying to tell me a supervisor who checks in every 2 hours, who swipes their card, who have to check in with a superintendent every day they come on a property, that they gave him an untimely Dan for an egregious act, and you guys didn't say anything about that? See, I'm not going to sit here and compare the actions, because, you know, people will make the arguments of, well, that was a test train. That train wasn't in customer service, and that other train was in well, let's be honest. Do we really know that train was in customer service? But I ain't gonna argue that, right? I'm not gonna argue that. But we can make the arguments with the different situations, which I agree. The ones with the passengers on it, allegedly, was a little bit more egregious, right? But what about the discipline aspect? Why nobody upset that this TSS got away with an egregious act and nobody saying he should be fired, he should be demoted? Nobody didn't even say he should get disciplined. Nobody never said that. I'm going to play the video again for the people who just came in. I'm going to play the video again. This is non-RTO personnel, a superintendent from another department operating the train. No crying on that. I'm going to give y'all another example. Another video where the cowards didn't say nothing once again. People be like, oh, I didn't see it. That's BS. That's BS. Another video. Now, that video may look like nothing to y'all. You be like, Tramel, it's just a work train and that's it. No, I'm gonna tell y'all the story behind this one. And this happened probably less than 2 months ago. Superintendent Mark Wolodarski in the Old Boys Club loves to get people in trouble. He bought a non-MTA employee on the property, gave this employee a MTA vest, and allowed this, non-MTA employee. Let me back it up just so we could get this clear. Superintendent Mark Wolodarski allowed a non-MTA employee to come onto the property. He gave this trespasser, because that's basically what he is, a MTA vest, let him get on a work train and ride the work train. Now, everybody will say, well, Tramel, it's not the same situation. He allowed the train operator allowed a civilian to operate the train, and this guy just let the guy on the work train. Okay, granted, but why there's no call for a demotion? Why is there no call for discipline? Why is this guy still in his title? See, I'm not going to sit here and compare situations. I'm going to sit here and compare what really hurts, and that's the discipline, because we all know how heavy-handed the discipline here is in New York City Transit, right? Nothing happened to the superintendent for allowing a trespasser on the property. And guess what? I found pictures and videos from at least 6 years they have been pulling this stunt and allowing a non-MTA employee on the property. But like I said, it's not about the situations. It's about how the Old Boys Club get away with egregious incidents and nothing happened to them. Another situation, which I put on social media, is Superintendent Mark Bible. Superintendent Mark Bible had a reckless operation. He works in RCC. Allegedly, what I heard the situation was, allegedly, is that he called for power to be cut back on while people were still on the roadbed. And guess what happened to him? He didn't get demoted. You know what they gave him? I posted his Dan too at one time. What they did with him was they kicked him out of RCC. They gave him a lateral move. They let him make a lateral move. He retained his superintendent title, and they put him in charge of a train line. Old Boy Clubs Network. Reckless. How can you allegedly call for power to be turned on with people still on the roadbed? And I allegedly heard this wasn't the first time that he did it, but this is the first time they actually decided to put it on his dam. He only got 30 days. Now, no demotion, just 30 days. Somebody could have died. All you track workers out there who saying that the train operator, we could have been on the roadbed and the trainer. How about if you was on near the third rail and you didn't hear that the power was being cut on? You could have died. Nobody mad at that. Want to know why nobody mad at that? Because of the coward culture here in New York City Transit. People want to pick on people who they feel cannot hurt them or adversely affect their livelihood. I do not like this coward culture. This is nothing but crab in a barrel mentality. This is nothing but crab in a barrel mentality. We see the old boy club stand up for each other. We see that when things happen in CED or MOW, we see a certain faction of people stick together. But when it comes, we see in stations, the Indians, they stick together. But when it comes to RTO, a diverse workforce within itself, the knives come out and the crabs in the barrel get active. It happens all the time. Now, the judgmental people. There's a lot of people judging this situation as if their damn histories are clean. In fact, there was a supervisor now that had an incident that could have affected that person becoming a supervisor. And guess who had their back and saved them? Now, they being judgmental on his post. And I'm flabbergasted, like, you got to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. Now, like I said, a lot of our damn histories is not clean. And management already think the majority of us don't deserve anything. They think that we shouldn't get raises. They think that we shouldn't get better work rules. They think we shouldn't even have days off to attend Mother's and Father's Day and Christmas and things of that nature. They think that we don't deserve nothing. We even see right now, we work through the pandemic, you hear nothing about hazard pay. They don't think that we deserve anything. Now, I'm going to tell you this. For everyone saying, oh, you know, it was unsafe and this could have happened, that's happened. Do you have an idea how many conductors open up doors outside the station where people could fall to the roadbed, possibly get electrocuted? How many conductors open up doors on the wrong side? And even train operators is enabling people on the wrong side, stopping at the wrong marker, all types of stuff. I don't hear nobody saying that they should lose their job, because they don't. They shouldn't, especially if nobody got hurt. Right? Why are we judging these things differently? When people have home signal overruns, the transit authority see a home signal overrun as a potential collision because it's protecting a switch. Right? So should we go by what if this person would have collided with another train? No, nobody don't say that, because these things happen so frequent. We pretty much normalize this. We normalize all these dangerous situations that we encounter every day as if it's nothing. But it's just as dangerous, if not more, than what that train operator did. But nobody don't have that same energy. Like, we all make mistakes. You have a whole bunch of workers, and I hear these stories all the time because it comes to me, of workers who get caught on a random and blowing dirty. And I'm talking about people on operational titles. Do I think that they made a smart move to even come to work knowing that there's a potential that you may not be fit for duty, and you happen to come to work, get caught in a random and then out of service and going through programs and stuff like that? That's dangerous too. That's dangerous too. People got this weird mentality. Oh, you know, I drive better when I'm drunk and I do things better when I'm drunk. It's still unsafe. It is still unsafe, right? But we sitting here being the most judgmental people that we are. Like it seemed like transit workers cannot wait to pull the knife out to stab someone in the back. We see transit workers talking about, oh, relationships, this person screwing this one, as if they not doing it. We see, oh, this person got in trouble for this, as if they not doing it. This whole entire I'm holier than thou, like what I swear, working for the transit authority is like working in a big high school. And we got a whole bunch of mean principals. And the principals represent management. It's like we work in a high school and we're not adults. All right, I get it. The first day, you can feel a kind of way. Second day, all right. But the third day, fourth day, and then you guys taking it a step further, sharing the pictures and all this other stuff. I am lost behind that. I am lost behind that. And then this is another thing that you guys are doing. It's another thing that you guys are doing. I see a lot of people out there saying that this was the train operator girlfriend. This was his girlfriend. Oh, he has no taste and all this other stuff. Now, I spoke with him. And I knew this before I spoke with him. And I just wanted to get it clear because you guys are really barking up the wrong tree with this one. You're barking up the wrong tree. And it's very possible that some of you guys may get danced behind your comments about this situation. And I'm going to explain it to you guys, right? The train operator is not attracted to women. He's not attracted to women. So for all you guys saying that he judging him because of how he was interacting with her, that's a dangerous tree to climb. That's a dangerous tree to climb. Because now you messing with a community of people who actually stick together. And they don't care about what you got to say or how you feel. They will cancel you fast. Right? So y'all follow what's going on in the newspaper or the post say, oh, he was with his girlfriend and try to make it look like it was a certain particular type of relationship. That's not even what he do. That's not even what he do. Right? So you got to be careful with that. You guys got to be careful of what you say on this internet because things just don't disappear. And you know, when I did speak with him, you know, he's very remorseful. He's ready to be accountable. But the attacks and playing with his sexuality, it's no good. It's no good. And another thing I want to bring up is did people forget the times that we are going through right now? People, I call it COVID crazy. People are actually losing their minds behind COVID. People are actually like having psychological episodes behind this pandemic. People is not measuring the effects that this pandemic had on our mental. And I just want to bring something up to you guys regarding the effects that the pandemic, the mental effects the pandemic had on us. And I'm going to put it on the screen. And it shows you how this pandemic has affected us mentally. We just seen a young lady walk up to another young lady and shoot her. We don't normally see situations like this. The egregious amount of shootings that's going on during this pandemic. Just people making bad choices altogether. We not even weighing the effects this pandemic had on us. Yes, some of us are stronger than others. Some of us could weather storms better than others could weather storms, right? But we can't judge people on what our goals are, what our goalposts are. Everybody have their own goalposts. Everybody have their own struggles. Everybody have their own situations that they're going with. Everyone makes bad decisions. Every day, I've been doing my relationship show, and I've been seeing people, you know, talk about relationships and their relationships with their marriages and their kids. A lot of people make bad decisions. They have kids with the wrong people every day. Transit workers too. You know, We all make bad decisions, but we can't judge people on these bad decisions. Like, and we can't like, you guys are really mad at me for wanting to help this train operator, right? But I'm not asking you guys for nothing. Whether I help him or not, it's not going to affect you. The damage is already done. We just got to buckle up, right? How you gonna get mad because people is willing to help someone? We don't want to see nobody lose their job. I don't want to see nobody lose their job for a mistake that didn't go wrong. Now, if things would have happened, then, yeah, of course. But the good thing is that nothing happened. And what really happened was that he recorded it. Because if you're a transit worker, you hear all types of stories down here. All types of stories. And people got this mentality that they think that just because they didn't get caught doing something, that they not a criminal or they not wrong. Like, people look at people who got caught, oh, they stupid, this, that. So just because you didn't get caught, does that make it right? No, it doesn't make it right. You're still a criminal. If you rob someone and you never got caught, but you robbing people, you are a criminal. The criminals are not the ones who only get caught. People got this weird way of thinking and thinking that that's how it works. No, it don't work, man. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Now, like I said, do I believe that he should remain in RTO? Absolutely not. Do I believe that he should have a safety sensitive title? Absolutely not. Do I believe that he should get fired? Absolutely not. He should be a cleaner. He should be a cleaner, and he should find his way after that. If they do give him a second chance, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I don't think that he should be fired. Now, what I want to do is that I got the link in the description of the video. If anyone want to get on a Zoom with me to say how they feel about the situation, you can get on a Zoom. You must be on the screen. No, we not doing. If you want to talk on this show, you got to show your face, man. People say a lot on this social media, and they can't have a real conversation. Everybody make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. If you make a mistake, you're going to want someone to defend you, no matter how big, no matter how small. You're going to want somebody to defend you. And I want to remind the members that I have not given up on humans. Humans make mistakes, some worse than others. I have not given up on humans. And if people need my help, whether it's to talk, point them in the right direction, or represent them personally, I will try my best. But one thing they have to do is be accountable for their actions. If you can't be accountable for your actions, and I gotta spend my time and my resources, I'm not going to be enthusiastic about doing it. I want people to be accountable for their actions. So, like I said, if you want to get on this Zoom, chime in now. Hit the link in the video. Get on a Zoom, and we could talk about it for a second. But we definitely, one thing that bothers me a lot about this whole transit situation is the coward culture here and the high school culture here. It is abominable the way a lot of people carry themselves here. And when are we going to grow up? And the reason I say we, even though I don't participate in that culture, is because I'm a transit worker. And once again, the public can't differentiate who's who. They look at the MTA patch and they automatically consider us the enemy, no matter what the situation is. They automatically say that's the bad guy and that's that. So when I say we, I'm talking about us. I'm not excluding myself. But when I'm talking to you transit workers, I know who the cowards are. I want you guys to get upset or feel whichever way you want to feel. I want you guys to feel that way. It must stop. It must stop. It must stop. I'm telling y'all now, like, and all you guys making comments about, that man's sexuality, I think you guys better go delete that if the transit authority don't got it already. Because guess what? Guess who you're going to be calling? Tramel, you know, I was just joking. I was just making a comment. I didn't know. Oh, there you go. But guess what? I'm gonna still help you though. But I want you to be accountable for your actions. You know what I mean? Still want you to be accountable for your actions. Let me see something real quick. We really got to do better. We really got to do better as a people. We really have to do better as a people because I mainly see, I ain't gonna lie, I mainly see black people doing this. I mainly see black people doing this. Like, even when the police officers make a mistake, people is like, oh, Tramel, you don't have the. So when a cop do something wrong, or whatever the case is, you can't say X, Y, and Z. Why can't I? Because normally when a cop do something wrong, guess what? Somebody got seriously hurt or injured. Do you know how many cops pull out guns without no threat to menace someone? Do you know how many cops do that? Do you know how many cops see a whole bunch of wrong and don't report it? But the difference between when a cop do something wrong, a cop could actually, the handcuffs getting put on you could change the trajectory of somebody's whole life. Transit workers don't have that power. And once again, we playing the what if game. And I don't subscribe to the police culture of covering up because their type of cover-ups affects mainly people of color. So this is not the same thing. Only thing I'm saying, and then when a cop do something wrong, they don't got nowhere to get demoted to. They can't get demoted to cleaner or shredder or I don't know what they could get demoted to. They can't get demoted to anything, right? This train operator made a horrible mistake, lapse of judgment. I don't want to see him get fired. I want to see him maintain his employment in another title. I think that's fair. I think that is fair. Also, you guys, I need you guys to share out this video for sure. We need to get this out. And look, if you don't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Just don't add the fuel to the fire. You guys got to stop that. If you don't got nothing good to say, then just let it go. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do. You guys is spreading the wrong message about him. The newspapers, y'all carrying it. I spoke to him. You know, a lot of people already know what it is with him, and even talking about the girl and how she looked. Okay, the jokes, we get it. Whatever the case is, we get it. Okay, cool. She's wrong. You know, this whole situation. And this whole situation is crazy. And for those who don't know, it was actually a conductor who actually made the video go viral in the A division. It's crazy. And you notice, man, I ain't even go. Look, if you like what's going on over here at Progressive Action, you could donate to the platform. The Cash App is Progressive Action 100. Now, I will say this: the train operator did want me to interview him, but I'm not gonna do that right now. It's too soon. It's too much going on. I don't want him to say anything that could hurt his case right now. So I'm definitely not going to speak with him regarding the situations of this case. But maybe I will later down the line, but definitely not now. Like I said, if you want to donate to the platform, you could donate via Cash App. The Cash App is Progressive Action 100. Oh, hold on, we got somebody that want to come on. So this may get a little interesting. Oh, give me a second, bro. Hold on one second. Let me make sure. Let me fly you in. There. We got somebody that want to be on. Let me see if I could pin you. Why that don't work? Let me see gallery. All right, hold on 1 second, bro. Let me get you on there. Woo woo. Oh, I gotta guess, guys. I gotta guess. Let's see. Let me see. Let me do the monitor. Nope. All right, hold on 1 second, my brother. Let me get you on here. Can't find it. Let me see. Uh, yeah, you can speak. They can hear you.
What's going on, my brother? What's going on?
Chilling.
Great show. Great show.
Appreciate it.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the standard that individuals are held to is never the same standard that's held to the people who represent us on all levels. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. If any, why doesn't it go viral when the union drops the ball, right? when when the when the people who actually get paid to protect you don't. There's never any fury. There's never any demands. There's never any consequences. People high fiving them, patting them on the back as they walk through the hall. Never even asked the question about what their actual respective roles are as it pertains to your livelihood and to your contract or to your growth as a union. I keep seeing people put posts online like asking the questions about like, what has Biden done and how much better of a country are we since Biden has taken office, and what has he done so great? Well, I guess you can ask the same question for our union. How are we better today than we were 20 years ago? That's a very real question, right? I mean, we have more resources, we have more technology, we have more information, we have more ability and different ways to fight against management. But yet we have worse contracts today than we did in 1985. We have worse work rules than we do today than we did in 1985. We have more discipline now than we ever had ever. There are more people who got terminated in the last 4 years than they ever have since 1980s. So who's responsible for that? Who's accountable for that? But yet our energy is focused around an employee who made a mistake in a world where anything can go viral. And to your point, no one got hurt. No one got hurt. So because no one got hurt, there's accountability, but there's also a level of forgiveness that can be attached to it because we don't have to overcome a catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
The catastrophe is his alone, right? It was a catastrophe of poor judgment, but it's not a condemnation of his humanity because we're all flawed as human beings. And that's why, as you said, the first day, all right, the second day, even us as individuals, we're flawed because we all like to see, no pun intended, a train wreck, right? It's the reason why on the highway, where you see a fire or a tractor trailer turned over, people just rubberneck, right? Because everybody's watching, everybody's paying attention. It's a spectacle, it's something to see. But then when you put it in plain focus and identify that that's a real life, that's somebody's son, that's somebody who has a life that when they came to work that day, or when they woke up that morning, did not think that by the end of the day, they'd be on the New York Post and being threatened by the MTA to have the police called on them. The same way that the governor had called the police on members for not punching into a time clock that wasn't collectively bargained for and added in the middle of a contract that no one ever even negotiated the parameters on. But no one got mad at that. But yet we want to call for this gentleman's head and have him fired and be hung at a public lynching, which benefits none of us because the next time someone gets caught on their cell phone, or the next time there is an accident, or the next time somebody does something just as stupid after this, because there will be another one, then they'll all be hung to dry in the same manner. So by your own condemnation, sometimes you'll have to face the same fire. So sometimes you want to cool those coals off in case you have to walk across them yourself.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So let me ask you: do you think that he should be given a second chance?
Well, yeah, I think every human being in the world is entitled to a second chance, and I also think that you would have to show me where other people have received the same discipline for the same action. Remember, we can't speculate on the what ifs, right? The what ifs are irrelevant. The what was is that there are several different supervisors who have taken the same opportunity and have done the same exact thing, regardless of what train, what color of the train, what time of the train. The action was the exact same. They broke the rules and accommodated someone who should not have been present in that environment and allowed them to do something which circumvented the rules. So if the argument is that this gentleman broke the rules, then yes, he's entitled to a second chance because the consequence does not fit the action relative to the actions that have already taken place, which we have documented at Progressive Action. So then yes, I do believe that that gentleman is entitled to a second chance. And again, not a second chance at doing something as stupid. I think his powers should be limited, right? Right. And there are consequences to your action. And I don't think anyone's arguing that fact. But I do believe that he's entitled to reprieve and an opportunity to make a living relative to his mistake. So, you know, his living is going to be compromised either way, because when he gets reclassified, if he gets reclassified, you know, he'll be losing, 70% of his salary. So how much more consequential do you think life should be for him? He's going to have to figure out how he's going to pay his rent now with a third of his money, how he's going to pay his bills or whatever debt, how he's going to live his life, and not only financially, but in public shame, right? That's another issue that this gentleman is going to have to face for the rest of his life. So how many pin needles should we stick in his back before we take a deep breath and give him a second chance?
Yeah. So what do you think about the people that's calling for him to be fired and for nobody to help him?
Well, it's easy to say that because what are you basing that off of? So the same people or anybody in the world who judges somebody or condemns someone, what are you basing it off of? Are you basing it off of public sentiment? I mean, this is really that's why they call it public lynching. You have people standing outside of hangings, not even know why they're there. Don't even know the circumstance of the case. They just know somebody was allegedly did something and they all want to stand there and watch a person get hung. That's more of an issue with those people than it is actually with the person. I never want to see somebody get fired.
You know, it's crazy.
I never want to. Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Once again, when I'm referring to the coward culture, I want to remind them. Pat Warren, which is the MTA safety officer, he gave out wrong guidance this whole entire pandemic, which led to over 160 some employees dead.
And counting.
Yeah, not one person asked for his job. Not one person went to
even one hearing. Right now we got public hearings on for everything, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Congress holds public hearings.
No, forget about that. I'm talking about the transit workers, right? We're talking about someone who actually gave us bad advice, was horrible at their job, that led to our deaths, because transit workers know everything that Pat Warren was saying was not happening in the field. You know what I'm saying?
They abandoned the ship. The infrastructure collapsed. They did not apply any of the pandemic playbook, which was already in place. They had a guideline on what to do and how to do it. Mm-hmm. They had the means to provide it and abandoned it.
Yep.
Oh, and not to mention, they were allowed to abandon it. Do you know why they abandoned it?
Why?
Because they were allowed to by the union. It's not transit's job to do the right thing for us. It's why you have unions. Their job is to protect their bottom line, their best interest. That's never been maligned with the needs of the members. It's why you have a union. That's what the argument for a union. It's the argument for collective bargaining. It's the argument for Taylor laws and civil service laws and EEOC. It protects the members from overzealous management, from management who otherwise would not allow you to even work in safe environments. They don't care. So then where is the anger for the people who allow it to happen. If a teacher smacks your kid and you let the teacher smack your kid deserves everything that happens to him.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
A teacher, a principal, a school, a cop, a neighbor, everyone will do whatever they want to your family or to who you represent if you don't advocate for them. And let's keep in mind, our union reps do not advocate for us because they're kind, considerate, forthright individuals. They do it because they get paid. No, that's their job, like their job, not like, oh, when I get around to it. No. You wake up every morning and get paid to do that. Yeah. So what happens when they don't do their job? Is someone calling for them to be fired? Because they didn't do their job, right? They actually told us and doubled down.
Yeah, hold on. We got somebody else on.
Got you, brother.
On camp.
Yo. Oh yeah, let me get the video off, man. I'm just trying to set up my camera here. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Peace. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I want to talk about the situation. I try to put the feelings aside because I know this dude, and I try to look at it from a different point of view from how somebody on the outside would look at it. And I can tell you one thing, and everybody else that knows him can vouch for him, and even people don't even know him. This guy is here all the time. He works. He's a hard, dedicated worker. He just happened to F up. I don't know if I can curse. He just happened to F up.
Uh-huh.
If you know his character, we can't curse here, right?
Nah, keep it limited, man.
Yeah, keep it limited. I ain't gonna curse. All right, let me keep it serious, man. Yeah. But yeah, my name is Chris Morrell. I'm a train operator in the C Division. I've been here 10 years, ABC, flagging, everything. So I know this guy. He came in right after me in 2011. And everybody that knows him, everybody that sees him around, you can tell that he's a hard worker. He's a dedicated worker. So when I found out that this was him that got caught up with this, I said, nah, he was getting taken advantage of some type of way. He's a very nice guy, right? So it's like, I couldn't believe he would put his job in jeopardy like that. I couldn't believe that he would be the one to get caught in the video in this type of way. But I don't feel that he should be fired because this type of thing, believe it or not, happens all the time. It just happened to be recorded. And we're not going to try to drag anybody that hasn't been recorded or anything, but we can say, I could just tell you by his work ethic, this guy, you give him a second chance, he's not going to mess up again. But we can't just do that to him because he made it hot for everybody else that's with us. So you got to give him a punishment. He has to get a punishment. I feel he should get a temporary demotion, or at least a demotion until he gets promoted again and he'd be allowed to take the test again to be a train operator. That's what he wants to do when that time comes. He needs to be taught a lesson. You just can't pat him on the wrist and say, go ahead, go back to your tools, because he made it bad for everybody down here. At a time that this environment and transit that we're in right now, when I came down here 10 years ago, everybody always said that it was a better place to be back in the day. Right now, I can tell you 10 years ago, it was a better place to be. This is a hostile environment. And one thing I can say is that RTO doesn't stick together. That's another thing. So when this thing happened and it was passed around throughout, different people, it shouldn't have been passed around like that virally as it should. Because we gotta stick together. We gotta stick together in the department. If this thing went down the track, I guarantee you stuff goes down the track that we don't even hear about. Car equipment, probably even surface. Definitely supervision. He just put the vid up about that. And you know why you don't hear about that? Because the supervisors keep it amongst themselves. So how come, who are you, and I'm talking about the people that's watching or the people that agree with getting him fired. Who are you to say that he should get fired off of this action? Because the biggest takeaway from this is that nobody got hurt. Now, if somebody got hurt, train derailed, whatever, yeah, you got to hit him with the biggest penalty. But my thing is, you got to punish him. You can't walk away without punishment. You got to put him to cleaner for some type of time. Let him learn his lesson. And then if time comes years from now, he can get back his tools, probably. But he can't get it back so easy if he could get it back at all. That's how I feel about the situation. Because like I said, this is one of them guys that he knows the job. He's a very dedicated employee. He just bad actions. Like you said, people make mistakes. Like we got other people out here, like I was telling somebody before, Jason Brown, right? I'm not cool with Jason Brown. I don't know him personally, but I do know he has a lot of knowledge. I'm talking about a separate situation with him. And he's somebody that, you know, yeah, he messed up. He said some dumb stuff, but he actually has he's a good teacher of the job. This guy, Harris, he's been down here for 10 years. He was a conductor, he's a tower operator, he's a train operator, and I guarantee you, any supervisor you can talk to, any conductor or train operator that worked with him in his house could tell you that this guy was not a problem. And they are shocked that this went down. And like I said, the biggest thing is that it was recorded. He got to get penalized for that. If anything, he violated 2 rules. He violated the rules of state train operation, 9.02B, because I can break down the rules, and 11J, having an unauthorized person in the cab. Now, what's other people doing out here? They're getting away with it. Supervision gets away with a lot of stuff. Yeah,
so why does supervision get away with a lot of stuff?
Because they close-knit. Because they close-knit. Because supervisors look out for supervisors. Because supervisors, instead of being a supervisor and advising people about stuff, they feel like the supervisor means they're superior. So if they're superior, they can't let one of their people that's superior like them hit the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to make them all look bad. They stick together better than us.
Right. But they don't get exposed either from the same
because they are more close-knit. They feel
so
more.
So let me ask you a question. If a member know that a supervisor is doing something that they shouldn't do, will the member be willing to go to the media to put it on Front Street and blow them up?
Has it ever happened?
The same way?
Has it happened?
It happens on progressive action quite often.
But this guy Tramel's not a supervisor. He's out.
I'm talking about holding supervisors and reps accountable in the same way that we hold the rank and file accountable when we're looking at each other, when we're in the way that we're able to critique ourselves. Are we willing to take the consequence to hold them accountable, knowing that there'll always be retribution? If you blow them up, if you blow the whistle, if you ask for a safety dispute resolution, if they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing that violates what their title allows them to, why aren't they held to the same standards from the hourlies? Because the hourlies are aware that there are consequences to that, right? They're going to drag you on the road. You're going to get violations. They're going to follow you at your house. You know it's coming, right? But the fear of that is what's essentially crippling us as an agency. If you want to talk about unity, it has to start with accountability, right? So we all agree that homies should be accountable, right? There is no one who don't feel like he should be accountable. But what we don't do is demand the same accountability from people who are not in our titles, right? The people who are the supervisors and the people who are the union reps.
So put it like this, not to cut you off, brother, but I'm saying
good.
We talked about the supervisors doing dumb stuff out here, and they may take accountability. They keep it in-house. They do what they got to do. They get a slap on the wrist, keep it moving, right? So when one of us mess up, right? And one of us mess up out here, all of a sudden, all of the people that's in our title or below supervision want to shame him, throw him away, do this, do that. I guarantee you,
cancel him.
I'm third generation transfer. My grandfather was a railroad clerk back in 1969 and 94. Let me tell you something. These cats out here that's talking all that stuff, terminating him. Well, guess what? Transfer's one of the best jobs in the city. So I guarantee you, if you in your 30s and your kid is 7 or 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, when they get older, they're going to be working down here with us. And what's going to happen? They F up. What are you going to say? Well, this guy got fired in 2021. My son and daughter should get fired too. No, you're going to be begging down on your knees. You may be NEPAC qualified if you know what that means, just to get your job back for your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't act like don't act like you ain't got no dirt in your name, because everybody got some type of dirt in their name. You know what I'm saying? This brother right here, I'm telling you, I know this guy. I try to put the feelings aside. He is a good brother. He goes to work. I catch him. I live by him. He runs down the block. I see this guy running down the block just to get to work on time. I get to work late sometimes. I keep it 100. They know the deal. Listen, he's very, very dedicated. I'm very surprised that would happen to him. But the biggest takeaway, like I said, nobody got hurt. He got to get a lesson. He has to get a lesson. You just can't do stuff like that, put people's lives in jeopardy. I was a construction flagger. What if he ran through a flagging set? You know what I'm saying? I'm a train operator now. What about the conductor that was in the middle? They ain't know what's going on. I guarantee you that conductor went down for incident testing too, because they all goes down as a crew. Anybody know what's going on with the conductor right now?
Nobody ain't say nothing.
Nobody say nothing. That conductor's probably out of service pending investigation. So he got to get the belt. He got to get the belt. He got to get hit. But at the same time, I don't think the brother should lose his job. I think he needs to be taught a lesson. And after he gets taught this lesson, we just take it from there.
Well, let me ask you a question, Chris.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to the people who is calling for his job?
I'm saying y'all not team players, and y'all not to be trusted out here. Like I said, your kids may work down here. Oh, somebody said, well, it ain't me. Yeah, somebody, you're not team players. That's the biggest thing about transit. I'll tell you, NYPD has a stronger union. FDNY has a stronger union. Sanitation has a stronger union. You know what I do? I'm the type of person, when stuff happens, I go through the comments. I went to New York Post, checked out the article in New York Post. New York Post states it so much. But you know what the majority of the people were saying? Why was it not kept in-house? How could the employers do that? Why didn't they keep it in-house? Why didn't they keep it in-house? Where's the unity at? We are so diverse out here. We all keep this system running, but RTO is the most separated department. Nobody should be calling for this man's job, acting like you ain't got no dirt in your name. How many people
what's crazy? I didn't mean to cut you. You know what's crazy? In PD and FDNY and all of those other agencies, when stuff like this goes down, they get internal memos from their union that everyone stays quiet, that no one speaks. You're only as good as your leaders. Now, when our leaders act more like management than union reps, it will tell you why the members act in the interest of management more than unionism, because real unionism is not present here. That culture has to be established from the actual reps. If you're not seeing them until every 3 years, if every day actively in your title, they're not present, engaging management in a standard that adheres to the benefits of the members, the culture then erodes, and you just have people who are mercenaries. Everybody's for themselves. There is no standard bearers that come from the top throughout the system that give us an accord on how to move. You understand? So you might know how to move, I might know how to move, but those only benefit us in individual situations, right? The union hasn't came out and made a statement, not on behalf of Homeboy, just on behalf of us as an agency, as a local. Right?
I think he should
now carry that condemnation so that you don't have to deal with a customer who's going to spit in your face and say, oh, who you got in the front of that cab? Somebody driving that train, right? You got to get in front of that.
The way I look at it is that the media got involved. The media needs to be addressed. He needs to make a public announcement apologizing about his actions. That's what I feel. That's first off the bat, right? Because he did mess up. Then after that, we keeping it, we do what we got to do with him. But like I said, I don't think this guy should lose his job after that. People did way worse than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like he killed anybody. It's nothing going on. And when you look at, I had to look at the situation like with this guy and the people that know him, they know he's a very, very nice guy. And I don't think he was not thinking correctly. I don't think he was in reality. He loves his job so much, man. He just loves driving the train so much. This is his work.
I want to say something because I see people commenting. And I really wish that they.
I can't see the comments.
I really wish that they chime in. But this dude named Wesley Reed said that dude put people's lives in jeopardy. If you see nothing wrong in what he did, something wrong.
Yeah, I do see something wrong.
Well, I mean, Wesley, Are you listening with your ears or you listening with your eyes? Because we all agree. We all agree that he did something wrong. We all agree that he should get punished severely. What we're not agreeing with is that he should lose his job. Now, Wesley, I will hope that you are the type of guy that don't drink, that don't go to the bar, that figure that you got 2 beers, that you can still drive home, that you're married, you're with the love of your life, you don't have no kids nowhere. I hope that you never made a mistake anywhere else before, because this seems like the breeding ground of throwing rocks and hiding your hands and making sure other people is accountable for their actions and you not being accountable for yours.
Exactly. You know what? What if Wesley has a kid down here? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you have a lot, it's a trend with a lot of transit people that a lot of transit people Their kids come down here and skip the generation with me. But I had like 2 other generations that came down here. And I noticed a lot of things happen where when they kids mess up, now they want everybody to be on their back. But what about back in the day when you was down here and somebody messed up? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Yo, we gotta be team players out here. Okay? You know what happens when the Yankees mess up? They all go talk. They mess up. They lose the game. They go in the back locker room and the coach beats their ass. Okay? You know what I'm saying? They all rough each other up. They talk about what happened. What we got to do to make this better than win the next game? Why did you do that? Yeah. They're not taking him off the team. So this cat, he's going to be part of the team. He might be selling concessions or something. He might be like a water boy or something for the time being. And then you get your skills up. You show your skills is up. But I feel like this guy should get that demotion, give him the time to take the test again, put him on a final warning for a long period of time. Like I said, give him that punishment. He needs to be taught a lesson that anybody else think that they could do the same thing and get away with it gets taught a lesson that they ain't going to do that. Because this guy did put people's lives in danger. But there's a lot of people doing that in every other job. Like you got people flying planes with their kids in the cockpit. When I was a kid, I grew up on the Rockaways. This cat probably either retired or something. I remember riding the A train and seeing this guy got his kids in the cab doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this thing going on for years. Let's just take away that nobody got hurt. And I'm still here to talk about it because the cat that did it, I'm still here to talk about it. I ain't died. You know what I'm saying? So let's,
Hold on, Jamel, you just came on not too long ago. What's your thoughts on the situation?
Okay. Hey, what's going on? All right. I was listening to this, the conversation, and I heard what you were saying before, we all came in on the Zoom. This is a very funny situation. Not funny, but, it's a really complicated situation. First off, being a union brother and being a union member, I don't believe that he should be fired, But at the same time, listening to what, Christopher said, I basically feel in my heart the same thing, that in reality, that's what's going to happen. They're going to try to fire him. And being that the video made the news media and everything, I saw the news yesterday and they said it with authority that he's not going to drive a train again and everything. So, what we feel and what they're actually going to do is two different things. But my personal opinion is, definitely shouldn't be in a safety sensitive title again. Not permanently, for a period of time, they'll demote him to a cleaner or however they do it down in RTO, cleaner or property protection or whatever, for a temporary period of time, a year, 2 years. And I say that because at the end of the day, nobody got hurt. There was no derailments. There was no, the conductor didn't even have to pull the cord from what I understand. I didn't hear anything about that. So if it wasn't for that video, nobody would have ever even known, and so that's why I feel that way. And I don't know if you saw my comments a little while ago, minutes ago. Historically, there are plenty of people who have been at the controls of the train under supervision of, let's say, like what y'all have a TSS or a superintendent. And the prime example of that is our politicians. Historically, in New York City Transit Authority, a politician has been at the controls of those trains, like whenever, for ceremonial purposes. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Mayor Bloomberg, and I forgot what their ceremony was for, but he was behind the controls of a train, of course, under supervision.
I mean, not only under supervision, but under that there's no track work going on and things like that. So, I believe, the train operator screwed up. We're not making no excuse for that.
Yeah, I can't make no excuse for that because, again, the rules and these people is anal about this. So it's like, listen, I say to the brother, if he's listening to me, I got over 20 years on the job. So, why even put yourself in that situation when, you know how anal these people are about this. So it's like, okay, you went, you did it. So it's like, and then they go and they call you Tramel. It's like, well, shit. What do you expect you to do? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not for. I'm from a neighborhood where people make bad decisions all the time.
Of course.
And do I think that when they do make bad decisions, should they pay for those decisions? Absolutely. But what the equivalent is what people asking is that this man, and I'm just using a hypothetical situation, is that a guy picked up a gun, shot into a crowd, nobody got hit, thank God, but they asking for the death penalty for him. Because that's the equivalent of them asking for him to be fired. Like, all right, this person fired the gun in the crowd, nobody got hit, but y'all want the death penalty? Nah, we saying that this person should definitely go to jail. Definitely.
I think he should get a hit.
But we shouldn't sentence that person to death. And
no,
that's the equivalent.
Yeah, but he's going to get the gun charge. You're going to get the gun charge.
You're going to get the gun charge. You're going to get the
attempted murder charge.
You're going to get
reckless endangerment.
You're going to get all those charges. Yeah. But you shouldn't get the death penalty.
What's the two rules he violated? He violated having somebody in a cat. That's the only rules I can find in the rule book that he did.
Let me tell you. When it comes to the transit authority, they find, first of all, you do one thing. They got a base of rules that they write down anyway. Right. And then you got to get into the meat of the rules. I mean, you saying
I look the rule book up every day, man. So I know.
I know you do, but I think that he's going to get hit with about 20 different rules, bro. Because look,
you got code of ethics, all that other stuff. Yeah.
Listen, not only did he violate operational rules, we got to think about he's a public servant. He violated public trust, right? So we got to go into the code of ethics and all this other type of stuff. And that's what I'm saying. We not saying that he should stay in RTO and operate a train. Well, at least I'm not saying that. He need to take his hit and send him on his way. You know what I'm saying? He don't need to lose his job, and I'm sticking by that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you too with that, Tramel. He basically shouldn't just be, out of everything, but basically he does need to take that hit so that he can think about what he did. And, basically, what we all forget is when you know better. See, there's a difference between somebody, and even with the gun charge, what you talk about in that scenario in life, it's like, okay, when you, but in this case here with the train operator, when you know better. Because even when you're in orientation, when you go through training and everything, and, I can imagine, when you sign the paperwork, that's damn near like signing for a damn house, for a mortgage. On the paperwork. So we're so happy to get the job, you don't actually read through all that paperwork because you don't have time to. So basically, you're signing your life away on a whole bunch of stuff where all this stuff is written down about public trust and ethics and everything. And see with the civil service, I can imagine there's even more stuff, especially when it comes to operating that train. So it's like, listen, so just like you said, they'll go and they'll find all these rules and everything that you're supposed to be aware of. Because again, guess what? We all signed our life away when it come to get this job.
I mean, without a doubt, without even knowing the code of ethics and stuff like that, he knew what he did was wrong.
Exactly.
I mean, we not gonna make no excuse for that. The difference is that he has someone recorded. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I can't get over it.
I want to know, was the train late? was the train?
It's the Delta, man. It's never late because you know what it is. You either race it to the creek or you race it to the relay.
What's the reason for your lateness? You know what I'm saying? But but I mean, I don't care if he knew the rules or not. We all know that you're not supposed to do that. And I mean, think about it. How would you feel if you found out, you see a video of a plane you flew in of a non-certified pilot flying the plane by themselves? You know what I'm saying?
I guarantee that happens, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying like what you like. He said he did a point. He was talking about the elected officials did it when the subway first opened up.
No, but that's
100 and some years ago. So we're gonna talk about now, right? This is what I want to point out.
Well, I'm talking about recently 15 years ago.
It's a controlled environment. It's a controlled environment.
Okay, right. So this is what I'm gonna say. What about homeboy, the TSS, that did that shit? excuse my language, the TSS that had the guy operator. That guy didn't have the 7 months of training as a train operator. I did. That girl didn't have the same 7 months of training as a train operator that I did. So what makes him different than
I'm
him?
gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you.
We know what it is. Yeah, we know.
One is in the old boys club, and the other one isn't.
One got the capacity for the protection, and the other one doesn't.
Yeah,
right. That too. But the fact of the matter is, again, just like I said a second ago, we're the ones that go through the training and sign the paperwork, the legal paperwork. We're the ones.
The TSS did too.
But legally, we're the ones that's supposed to know better, and we're the ones that's going to take their head.
No.
No, that TSS did too. He had to be a train operator to be a TSS. He had no business letting somebody else do that.
Supervisors should get hit harder than regular employees because they are supposed to know better, and they are supposed to uphold the rules.
Yeah.
Right? So they're supposed to know better. The thing is that the transit authority took it upon themselves to protect him. How do you give a TSS a late Dan? How can a supervisor get a late discipline period when they're supposed to check in with superintendents?
Yeah. That means the superintendent just let it go on in the sweep. And you know what? Like even with that guy's situation, I got no problem with him. I never had no problem with him running up on me, starting trouble. He's actually a very knowledgeable guy. If it wasn't for him, we would have a lot more signal overruns out here because he actually got signals department to calibrate those timers. So I'm not even mad at him. But I'm just comparing the situations.
I mean, I'm not getting listen. He spoke to me himself, right?
Yeah.
He spoke to me himself. So I'm just saying, bruh, listen.
And they both bust.
There's two different tracks of discipline here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the transit authority got to pick and choose a side. If you're gonna hit us hard, then you got to hit everybody else hard. It's just coincidentally the people they not hitting hard don't have the same complexion as us.
Yeah, we can get to that race call because what if train operator Panalino on the R? Not like I know that's a real train operator. I'm just putting a general speaking as some white woman out there operating the train and they got caught. Would it happen? Who knows? They probably give him a slap on the wrist. I don't know. I don't even know if race got to do with it sometimes. I just think the main thing about this is that it made it to the media. That thing didn't make it to the media. Nobody knows about it but us.
Because you want to know why? Nobody cared to put it to the media. Because I don't
even think we should put it to the media, to be honest with you, because I'm more the type of person that, see, I got 23 years left down here. I don't plan on being a train operator the rest of my 23 years. But I get famous, but I go to supervision. Who knows? I might be in management one day. I know where I came from.
Definitely going to management, bro. Stop acting like you're not.
But I'm not going to forget where I came from. My thing is, it shouldn't be not saying with this situation. That's why I'm comparing his situation with Harris's situation, because they both had the same title at one point. It's not supposed to be management versus hourlies. We all came from the same cloth. We all come from the same clothes. Just some people get dirtier than others.
Sure,
you know we know. So my thing is like, this cat ain't make it to the media because his people around him ain't do that. They look out for one another. Now, like I was saying, like they said, the New York Post article said that a supervisor reported this guy to the NYPD.
Bro, we can't listen to the Post. The Post said that was his girlfriend.
Yeah, they said it's a girlfriend that was conducted. But what I'm saying is, it's possible that a supervisor would do that. Why would a supervisor even do that to their own employee? That's another thing that we got to talk about, because you see a supervisor, and you did it before on one of your videos when you saw about the other cat that was doing that dumb stuff with the Twitter reports and all that stuff. You said straight up, you broke down out of the supervisor's manual about what a supervisor is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. A supervisor is supposed to first confront that employee and advise them on what to do before giving them discipline. And obviously, if it was a supervisor that did this, they didn't do that. They just went straight for the throat. Instead of like, yo, listen, you're not supposed to be doing that. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? No, they didn't do that. They went straight. Like, they got a lot of supervisors out here that's just ready to cut throats.
Yeah, because
then when they want service running, they're looking for bodies. But no, I'm not going to help you out because you cut my colleagues' throat. This is how the workforce, this is how conductors, train operators, everybody, surface, everybody should think about. we all are one with this dude. I know he did stupid stuff. He did stupid stuff. And if you don't know him, you won't even really think he did stupid stuff. You know that. But at the end of the day, it can happen to you. You might think you might not be in a situation that equals up to that situation. It could be something else can happen. Listen, we got a bad rap right now with the TA. We got bus drivers dropping in the buildings. We got this dude what he did, everything. Yo, we all a target right now. So we all gotta stick together.
You know it's so crazy. I ain't hear bus operators say that dude deserved to get fired. But when it comes to RTO,
stick together.
Yeah, we come to RTO, we ready to tear each other down. All right, we go. You guys could wrap it up and leave the people with a final word. But we all agree. We all agree that he shouldn't be fired. Correct?
Yeah, I don't think he should be fired. I think he needs He got to get his punishment. He got to get his 30 days. He got to get his temporary demotion. And when I say temporary, either make him, put him back in his tools in a year or two with a final warning, permanent final warning, so he won't mess up. Because this dude ain't going to do it again. I'm just telling you. Or keep him as a cleaner and let him take another promotional exam. I know this guy. I'm telling you, listen. I know he's going through a lot right now. I know because this guy, he messed up and he got caught slipping with that girl. That's a whole nother video. Because even her, I was mad at her in the beginning, but then I thought about it. She really don't know no better. Nobody really understands our job. See, they think it's like, what if you letting your boy drive? He ain't got a driver's license. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. Let my boy drive. Something like that. No, this is serious stuff. People don't understand our job. That's another thing. We need to put out what our job is, how serious our job is. But like I said, he messed up. He got to get the penalty. And hopefully he can get back to where he wants to be because I know he wants to drive the trains. But let him keep his job right now. Let him keep supporting his fan. Let him keep supporting, but he got his bills and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll take care of the rest in-house.
What you got to say, Jamel?
Basically, my feelings are the same when it comes to that. That was a situation where it's not like, like, let's say like with bus operators where you're driving buses and something out of the ordinary comes to you, because just like you and me always say, you don't come to work to get it for the most part. So sometimes these things come at you, happen to you beyond your control, and you get jammed up in how you handle it because there's so many rules that's out there the way it's like, you could break one just by accident, but in this case here, again, it's like, listen, like I said, he's listening. You did that, it's wrong. And when we have our, we're not kids here, but, if you got kids at home or whatever, and they do something, the idea is to punish them, to keep them from keeping on doing something stupid. Because if you don't stop it, they'll keep on doing something stupid. And then when they get older, they'll get out here and they'll do things and end themselves up. So you always want to protect your own, Yeah. But in this case here, it's like, he should not be fired because everybody needs their paycheck. Everybody needs something, But definitely, not operate that train for a while, for a couple of years, and then the union, go back and fight hard for him and say, listen, the guy, he's been without his tools for a couple of hours. He learned his lesson, so let's give him back his tools.
Mm-hmm.
It's but also as a membership, I hear y'all are very cutthroat, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I learned a little about that department, and it's again, the rules are set up that way, for what I understand, because the conductor, if the conductor or the operator, the conductor, can pull the cord on a train operator and all those, and versa. If
the conductor's in charge of the train, and the train operator's in charge of the train movement. So basically, the conductor is running the show. The train operator is basically the DJ. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, it's the conductor's job in the rule book to shut it down. If they feel things is going wrong or it's not being run properly, right? So that's what I'm saying. So that department, it sounds like it's designed for everybody to cut each other's throat and and be cold to each other that way, you know.
We still fighting for joint union meetings. We should have train operator conduct the union meetings instead of being the conductors one week and the train operators the other week. But you got conductors and towers in the same meeting. We both work on the same concepts. Why are we not in the same room together putting up the same?
And you want to know what? That's the union. Right. That has nothing to do with the MTA. That's the union.
And was it always like that? Because was it like that when Quill first started? We don't know. I don't know. But I know it's like that now.
Yeah. Right. So
yeah, go ahead.
Right. So that's what I mean when I say, you know, we have to get more unified, and we have to understand and not have this cutthroat culture, because just like you said, Tramel, this is one big old high school. Oh my goodness. This shit, excuse the language, it burns me alive. The mentality that's here at the job. It is one big old high school. Yeah. So everybody, you know, we all just got to get on the ball with unionism, get on the ball with studying and really seeing what's going on. Because matter of fact, you know, I put up a post real quick. I put up a post yesterday about MTA is supposed to be getting a little bit more, getting more money. It's supposed to get money from that infrastructure bill that coming out of Washington. So basically, that's more money on top of what they was getting before. Okay, so now only three people hit the like button, and there ain't no comments on that. But yet, Tramel's post about this train operator here, there was, I think, approximately 150 likes and all these comments talking about what should go down. So just after 5 years of progressive action, everybody still has a cutthroat mentality, and people, their priorities, but they hit the like button, or their priorities with the attention with these different posts and progressive action. So you see it. So that's why I say it's all the mentality with the members has to change. We talk about administration, we talk about this and that, but Tramel barks on the administration all the time. But at the same time, not understanding, not comprehending, and having this cutthroat mentality, things are going to remain the same. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, so, it was good for you guys to call in, to make your voices heard on that.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. I'll speak to you guys later. All right.
Yeah. Sure, man.
All right, peace.
All right, Trim.
Yeah. So let me get this off the screen. See, another thing that people not talking about is that the MTA is not hiring enough supervisors, and there's not enough TSSs out there, right? So nobody ain't gonna point to the fact that the MTA is not hiring enough people. There's not enough supervisors, and if there was actually TSSs out there, they possibly could have stopped this from happening, or if something seriously would have happened, everybody would have been asking, well, where's the infield TSSs? You know, they put in one TSS to every line. There's not enough supervision out there, honestly. And once again, nobody should be doing nothing this crazy anyway. It's irresponsible. It's illogical. But at the same time, everyone make mistakes. And that's my stand on it. Everybody makes mistakes. He shouldn't get fired. He should still find some type of work here in the MTA. And we wish him the best, and he have my support. Once again, if you want to donate to the platform, you could donate to the Cash App. The Cash App is on the screen, Progressive Action 100, and it's also in the link of the video. I'll catch you guys later. You guys be good, be safe, and remember, when nobody don't got your back, you can always count on me. I'm here for you in some form or fashion. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.